guys, welcome to this video where today I'll be telling and showing you guys about what happened in World War I and what it was all about. One of the very biggest things that caused World War I to start was big countries and the powers of their armies. People always tend to take bigger risks if they have bigger armies. One thing that made the both world wars, is that people had alliances, and when they got into the wars, when they got into trouble, they called upon their friends to help them. So then we ended up having, instead of just America, England, and Canada, we had Italy and Turkey and all those other countries to help us because we called on them because they were allies with us. And most of the times, these allies were very secret about making themselves allies with someone. Okay guys, now we're going to be reviewing some of the reasons why America joined in World War I.
One of the reasons the Allied forces joined the war was because of the Lusitania, which was bombed by a German sub that killed over 100 people. Another reason America joined World War I was because of their feelings toward Britain. They felt inclined to help Britain.
Some of the key nations involved in World War I were America, France, England, Russia, Germany, Austria-Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire. Now we will be reviewing some lead figures in World War I. John Pershing was a lead military figure in World War I. He commanded the U.S. Air Force. He was a lead figure in contributing to good strategies. The Red Baron was a Nazi ace pilot who was mainly known for his outstanding performance in piloting.
One of the key military figures was Sir Douglas. Sir Douglas was a British commanding officer who courageously commanded his troops against the Central Powers. Former Emperor of Germany, Kaiser, who was a lead figure in World War I. As a political figure, he commanded the German forces.
We will now be reviewing some of the key elements to trench warfare. Gas warfare was one of, by far, the most dangerous components to trench warfare because, unlike machine guns, you couldn't hide from them, and you couldn't take cover or have armor that might still save your life. You were dead if you didn't have a crude mask, and if that mask failed you, you were dead almost spontaneously, or suffer the consequences over a period of time and eventually die. Digging trenches was one of the key elements to trench warfare because, as you can obviously know, trenches, without being dug, trench warfare would have not even existed. Trenches were created to withstand enemy air raids, artillery shellings, machine gun fire, and to hold your ground.
One of the elements of trench warfare that was used in World War I was air raid. An air raid is when an enemy or an ally decides to bomb from the air. The Germans and England always air raided each other.
One of the key elements in fighting of trench warfare was machine guns. In theory, one machine gun was better than 40 riflemen and only manned by 6 of them, therefore making it more effective by using 34 less men and making it so that you could have a more effective war against the enemy.
Another battle that was fought in World War I was the Battle of the Somme. The Battle of Somme was fought by British and France against German Empire. It took place on either side of the Somme River. It was the bloodiest battle in World War I. The battle was won by Britain and France with over 1,000 men killed on both sides. The outcome of this battle was that the first Newfoundland was wiped out before it crossed the front line. One of the battles that was fought in World War One was the Battle of Tannenberg. The Battle of Tannenberg was between Russia's Second Army and German Eighth Army. The battle started on August 26th and ended on August 30th, 1914. It was a defeat for Russia and its commander Alexander Samsonov, with over 78,000 Russian soldiers killed and wounded. It was a victory for Germany commander Von Reichenkoff, who only lost 10,000 to 15,000 soldiers. The outcome of this battle was that Russia was eliminated as a combatant because they were still trying to recover.
The Battle of Cambrai was a British offensive against a German city called Cambrai. The British overtook the enemy lines within 3 days or so, but quickly after, before even a week, the Germans took it back, and so it was considered a draw. September 4th, 1914, Germany attacked Belgium and northern France. The troops were transported by taxis to stop the invading forces and eventually won. The battle was again commenced in 1918 when the Germans ended right back at that very exact same point, and they didn't lose or gain any ground in 4 years. After World War I, immigration was restricted from people in Eastern Asia such as China, Thailand, Japan, and other countries so that they couldn't come in, such as Chinese laborers. And it was restricted to only 150,000 immigrants each year. In World War I, 8.5 million soldiers died and over 21 million ruined from injuries, cancer, or other problems. The League of Nations was founded under the exact same recesses as the United Nations. The League of Nations was designed to stop any more world wars from happening. Obviously, it failed its mission as many countries were still had disputes with Germany and other countries were preparing for World War II. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this video.